Hey there, Adam here. So today I wanted to do a video on how I use Obsidian in my daily practice as a personal injury lawyer. So I ran a poll not too long ago. I asked what do people want to watch, and three of the five people that voted said they wanted more cerebral videos on how I use Obsidian in my work and life. So that's where we're at today. We're going to talk about how I use Obsidian in my daily work. It's not going to be a terribly long video, because honestly, most videos are about twice as long as they need to be. So let me just sort of jump back into Obsidian and we can go through what I do. So as a personal injury lawyer, I mostly spend my time on the phone and answering emails. So a lot of my work does not sort of work directly inside of Obsidian, which again, not terribly surprising. We also use a program called Needles Neos, which is called a practice management software, and that's where all the client sensitive, client specific data goes. I do take notes on clients inside of this program, but before I make these videos, I have to go through and basically move it all into my other software, clean it out because you can't see it. That's sort of how it works. It's all attorney-client privilege, so I have to be very careful about what I show. And as a result, nothing specifically related to clients lives inside of my Obsidian long term for client security reasons. So, but I do use it daily with clients. So the primary use that I get with clients or inside of Obsidian is using it for phone calls. So anytime someone calls me, if it's a client or calling about a specific case, I use Templator, and I have a phone template. So I will just pull it up like this. You see, it's a phone template, and then let's just say client's name, and then hit OK, and then I'll put TCW for telephone call with client's name or witness or etc. whatever, and then the content of the phone call. And then at the end of the phone call, it'll live right here. And then at the end of the day or the end of the week, what I will do is I will just copy and paste each one of these notes that has client-specific information. I will save it directly into our practice management software where, obviously you can save any amount of information in there that you want to. So it gets moved out of Obsidian, gets moved directly into my practice management software so that I can be searched by everyone within my organization, because obviously Obsidian is not designed for organizational level data sharing. So this is probably my largest use of it is just to save phone calls, and I may take 15, 20 calls in a day. I mean, that's sort of a normal day for me while answering 100 emails. So I will collect a bunch of these. And this is so much faster and easier to just, Control Alt P and make a new one. And then I just can save them all right here, and then I can go organize later rather than going into my practice management software, which may be 7 or 8 clicks to open up a new note, and it's just slow. So this is instantaneous. It's backed up. I save it all in the cloud, and then it just sits until I can go back and organize it later. Another way I use it is if I have conversations with on specific sort of practice or business related topics. So for example, this is advanced client costs. This was a discussion with an accountant about how to label costs moving forward to make sure we do things correctly from a tax perspective. So that's, if I'm having discussions with people about things that are not client related, I will often take notes inside of here and save it for future use. Another big one that I use this for is saving CLE, what's continuing legal education is what that stands for. So I will save CLE materials. So I have the YAML metadata, and then you'll see there was information given to me while I was taking the class, and I can embed it as a PDF. So if for whatever reason I want to come back to mass communication in the law, I've got the PDF saved here, and this is the transcript of the presentation. So those are perhaps the biggest ones, and then I also yeah, so these are the biggest ones. And then one of the other big ones I use it for is I have a list of blog posts, just a few. This is my list of marketing stuff to do for my law firm. So you can, as I come across topics, it's not all from this website. As I come across topics that seem like it would be useful in my practice area, I just add them to this list. And whenever I finish them, I just delete it off the list. So I do use Obsidian for these longer term projects, such as blogging, such as how to do stuff from a business perspective. And there's a lot of other things in here that are sort of pseudo related that don't directly fit underneath this Melrose Law bucket. So, for example, like this $100 million offer, this is a business book, and it specifically relates to the law firm and how we run the firm, but it doesn't go in that folder because it sort of relates to everything. Rocket Fuel is the same way, another business book. Some of my favorite notes from it, and yeah, so that's sort of the way I use it. It's a sort of a short-term repository for me because I need my data to be accessible by our entire team. So it's very useful for these just quick notes, and write it down, and then I can just, if I have to have another phone call in 5 minutes, I'm not scrambling trying to save things in their correct folders in the cloud. I can just leave it here until I need it and until I have time to organize. And, like I have a to-do list here. I'm sure that's got client names, so I can't click on it. So hopefully this was interesting, helpful, useful, whatever you want to call it. I know that people wanted some more cerebral information, and I think it's interesting to see how different professions use it. I wouldn't say I'm getting like best use out of it, but then again, I don't think that there's any requirement or necessity to be perfectly efficient. I think there's some pretty significant diminishing returns when it comes to programs and quote unquote efficiency. So I think that you want to find the way that the program works for you without going overboard on trying to optimize the software. If the optimization's taking you far more mental energy, you're essentially just procrastinating at that point, which all of us are procrastinate a good bit. But I try to cut it back as much as possible. So I hope this was interesting. I know it's a little bit of a different topic and maybe a face reveal. I'm not sure if I've done a video with my face on it on this channel. I have a couple other YouTube channels that I have. So hopefully this was interesting. Hopefully you got something out of it. If you have some more questions about how I use Obsidian in a more cerebral or life way, let me know. I may, at some point, make a video just about some of the other use cases, but this sort of covers what I do with it on a daily basis for my 9-to-5 job. Well, I wish it was 9 to 5. It's a little more than 9 to 5, but you get the point. All right, thanks. Bye.